Hello there subscribers and lurkers, welcome back to the Score FC, where we're about to take you on a wild ride by predicting exactly what's going to happen to both Liverpool and Manchester United next season. But first, a history lesson. Why do the two teams hate each other so much? Is it simply their geographical location or something more? We tasked a few of our unpaid interns with finding out, and here's what they told us. It turns out this fierce animosity between the two cities didn't originate for footballing reasons. During the Industrial Revolution in the 1800s, there was severe competition between the cities of Liverpool and Manchester for dominance in trade. The construction of the Manchester Ship Canal, funded by Manchester merchants, was opposed by Liverpool politicians and bred resentments between the two cities. You didn't think you'd get a world-class history lesson from one of our Score FC unpaid interns, did you? Take that, hardcore history. Back on the pitch, there were 4 league titles traded in quick succession in the 60s between these two juggernauts, and many view this as the period where the footballing rivalry really kicked up a gear. Liverpool were extremely successful in the 70s and 80s with 11 league wins, breeding resentment and jealousy in the cold streets of Manchester. Put simply, Liverpool became England's most successful team, by far. And then came along the great Sir Alex Ferguson, and Man United usurped their great rivals as the Premier League era began in 1992. They won 6 of the first 8 Premier Leagues, and eventually overtook Liverpool's total haul of top-level trophies. Cut to modern day, and they remain the two most successful teams in English history. Liverpool have the edge of European trophies, whereas United still have more league trophies. That's enough of the history lesson. What's it been like in recent years? Well, I'm sure we all remember the wild 7-0 thrashing last season where Liverpool completely demolished a tepid Ten Hag team and Bruno Fernandes embarrassed himself on a global stage. I don't think anyone actually remembers the last time Man United won the league in 2012, but you might remember Liverpool winning it more recently in the pandemic year of 2019. Pretty ironic that they waited 30 years for a title and then couldn't even celebrate in front of their own fans. And now to the fun part. What's going to happen to these two teams next year? Well, dear viewer, we've tasked one of our particularly sun-starved interns with a background in physics with forensically studying every possible variable next season with a quantum computer to come up with a detailed and supremely accurate answer to that very question. Great job, unnamed intern. If you keep working hard, maybe one day we'll give you actual credit. But first, let's start with Man United, and we'll address the big bald elephant in the room, Erik ten Hag. He's going to get sacked in the summer, and old Jim Ratcliffe is going to line up Gareth Southgate as replacement manager to restore United's British identity. At least that'll be his intention, but the reality will play out very differently. Things won't work out for Mr. Waistcoat, and the whole world will remember that he's actually an extremely mediocre club manager, and international football is really the only good place for him. What minimal progress they've made under Ten Hag will be reversed next season, and they'll find themselves languishing in mid-table after overpaying yet again on new recruits who are hyped up but just aren't ready for the never-ending pressure machine of Old Trafford. Bruno Fernandes will unfortunately break a foot in November, and Mason Mount will be given a chance to step up, only to also break the same foot in December and spend most of the season injured yet again. They won't make rash decisions with Southgate. After all, Ineos do love a long-term project, and they'll spend yet another season in a constantly yo-yoing state of abject failure and the occasional great evening where they edge out an undeserved last-minute winner against a bottom-half team and forget that they played like complete shit until that moment. It'll be a decent season for Højlund with 17 Premier League goals, but it won't stop them falling to another disappointing 8th place finish, and the fans will predictably revolt at Mr. Southgate, who will take it all in his well-groomed stride. And how about Liverpool? They'll secure the services of highly rated Portuguese Ruben Amorim to replace Klopp, but they'll unfortunately lose Van Dijk to PSG and Salah to a Saudi team. They'll go big, and expensive replacements for both will come in, with Kudus from West Ham replacing Salah and the highly rated Ivorian centre-back Diomande following Amorim from the Portuguese league to replace Van Dijk, but it will still prove a difficult season of transition on Merseyside. They'll struggle to keep pace with Arsenal and City, and will spend the bulk of their season fighting out for one of the 5 Champions League spots. Luis Diaz will emerge as the star man, and fans will pin their hopes on him to lead them to glory, but after a bad run of form in February, the adoration towards him will turn to fury, with some particularly appalling fans online claiming his dad should be kidnapped again so that he starts playing better. Thankfully that won't need to happen, and they'll finish the season strong with Gakpo hitting an absurd vein of form and scoring 9 goals in their last 6 games, ultimately securing 4th spot on the final day of the season with a 3-1 win away to Villa. And Trent will get 14 assists for the season. Wow! So there you have it, a clear guide on exactly what's going to happen to both of these two northern teams next season. Feel free to get this video script printed out on leaflets and hand them out at your local church, mosque, synagogue, supermarkets, or even online chat rooms, and let the world know exactly what's to come. And when everyone puts a bet on and becomes richer than their wildest dreams due to the overly unnecessary specificity of these very accurate predictions and ask you where you got this information from, please remember to not credit our unpaid intern who specialises in physics whatsoever, and instead just direct them to our PayPal account where they can donate 23% of their winnings. We'll leave a link to that in the description. Until next time.